Who's that?
The parents?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Citizens of the Reject Nation, we have made it to the finale. It's a bittersweet moment, but as always, we are going to check in with our feelings. Erushige, my real roomie, how are you feeling today, sir?
I'm good. We're coming off episode 5, and I'm also feeling the emotional resonance of that experience. Also, we had freaking bagpipes coming here last episode, so that was definitely a surprise, to say the least. But yeah, I'm feeling good, ready for the final episode of the season to see how things wrap up. How are you feeling, man?
As always, Aaron, whenever we come to the ending of, well, this isn't the end of a series, but the end of a season, I get very bittersweet and sad. So I'm excited, but I'm also, there's that balance of sad and excited, but also interested to see what's gonna unfold. So especially with how that last episode ended, but this has been a great season. But without further ado, we're gonna get right into this. So yeah, get it up and ready, Erushige.
All right, let's rock and roll.
And the most valuable player is Scott Hunter.
Go, Scott.
Where's Kip? Join him.
Where's your man?
A few weeks ago, I achieved my lifelong dream, winning the cup.
Yee.
I don't even think I have the words to describe it. But something else happened that night. It's been an interesting month.
It felt very real.
I came out as gay in a ridiculously public way, and I've always been a private person, but from what I've seen over the past few weeks, it's maybe important that I do a bit.
Yeah, man.
And look, I love hockey. I'm so grateful that I get to do this for a living. But I also know what it feels like to not fit in.
Yeah, man.
When I was a teenager, I realized that I may be that thing that hockey players like to throw around as an insult. When you have a secret that you work as hard as I did to protect, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's also really, really lonely.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I found the person who changes everything.
Oh, why aren't you there with them?
And he gave me the confidence and the need to be honest about who I am.
You should be there, Kip.
Yeah, but the fact that they're public about it.
But then I found the one thing that is more powerful.
Love.
So I share this honor with my teammates and my coaches, but I also share it with you, Kip.
Oh.
You have made me better in every conceivable way. I love you.
Say it back. Say it back. I know we can't hear you, but I'll feel it in spirit.
That was beautiful.
That was very
An incredible monologue. I wonder if he actually memorized that monologue or he's like reading a prompter in real life.
I might have memorized it. It felt very authentic.
Yeah, for sure. Either way, fantastic job.
July.
Ottawa.
Canada.
Is this a Jeep?
No, it's British. Practical. Get in the snow.
Okay.
All right, bouncing off what you said at the end of our review, now we're going to really see their relationship. I mean, because we've only really seen, like, where they've slept with each other one night, so see them really spend some time with each other.
I think you're gonna like the cottage. It's relaxing.
Is that what we're going to do?
I mean, it's one of the things we're going to do.
Can't have it all the time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Aw.
Kiss at a red light or something.
The cottage is super private, so we don't need to worry about anything.
Not even your parents.
No. I told them I was on a silent retreat, like a meditation. What? Does that sound fake?
It would if it was anyone but you.
Oh, look at that, Andrew.
I can carry my own bag.
Higher ribs.
Fine, I can take my bag.
Probably not used to being, like, taken care of and coddled like this.
That's a great point. Yeah, he's usually the one who's taking care of people.
Wow.
I mean, has a friend like,
Fine.
can't pronounce her name, Saventala, or however you say her name, but...
Well, it's the first time another man's taking
Yeah,
care of him.
yeah. This is a beautiful cottage.
I have my own well. You can see it in case you're thirsty.
I think he's thirsty for his youth.
He's always thirsty for him.
That's a secret, Cap.
I understood that reference.
Been a while, so I might not last long.
Yes, same, but we have 2 weeks.
You said same. You haven't been with anyone lately?
No.
Not since.
Aww.
Really?
Hollander is not a big deal, okay?
Yeah, but it's been...
Months, yes, I know. So can we now, please?
I haven't either. Not since the last time.
I forgot, was he with Rose, but he didn't last really much, right? He had performance issues?
I believe so, yeah.
For the next 2 weeks, let's just be honest with each other about what we actually think and maybe how we really feel.
I will try.
Yes. Let's be vulnerable.
Should I show you to your room?
No, not staying in our same.
I will need the king-size bed
They all have a king-size bed.
and the view.
They all have a view.
A view of you. So why don't we share the room?
This room isn't available to the guests.
Disappointing.
I'm sorry, sir. We'd really like to accommodate you, but... Wait.
Was this still one shot? Or did we cut it all?
Might have been one cut, but there's a lot of tracking shots. Well, they're out in like the woods. I mean, there is a possibility someone could be hiking, right? But I
It's
mean,
rare.
Hunter already came out. I would hope that make them
I mean,
unafraid.
Ilya he's still afraid. You know, he
No,
said
of
the thing about
course.
the airport.
Of course.
I think they're both actually, because I don't think neither of them come out to their families.
Yeah, true. I don't know why, but when the steam was coming off that before we got the reveal of the barbecue, I thought it was like a jacuzzi or something. Delicious.
Okay, fine. I should have cut it in half.
It's like medium.
Ordinarily, I would just give the rest to my parents, but that would probably ruin my whole silent retreat lie, I guess.
Yuna and David, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And?
And what?
Tell me about them.
Oh,
I know your mother is Japanese or something. Probably where you get your looks.
Half of them, yeah.
And your dad is, what, boring?
He's not boring.
So it's exciting, reading the New Yorker.
He's normal, okay? He works for the Treasury Board of Canada.
damn.
My parents are great.
Do they know?
Of course they don't know.
No, about you being gay.
No, about you.
No.
Would they not be good about it?
Uh,
I mean, no, they'd be fine. I'm sure they would be. I don't know. We haven't talked about it. Sometimes I think I would have told them already.
this is major foreshadowing for at least telling them.
Yeah, whether it be this episode or next season.
I think you can tell your parents you're gay without giving them a list of all the guys.
I know. Anyways, it just doesn't really matter.
I mean, it can't be something you force. It's got to be when you're ready, of course. I understand he's got a very special bond and relationship with his parents, and he doesn't, in his mind, want to feel like
So we just sit here and look at it.
he's scared to possibly.
Yes. We just sit here and look at it.
They don't if they reject him.
Canada is fun.
Shut up.
But if they're the good people that he says they are, they should be able to accept their son no matter what.
It was just Rose.
Just Rose.
Just checking in.
You jelly?
You're not jealous, are you?
No.
Ilya, I'm gay.
You're not so gay you can't fuck Rose Landry.
Oh my God. It was like twice.
Didn't he bang his other friend, though?
Yeah, he's still gonna be jealous though.
I was just making a point, though.
Full of hypocrisy,
What the
my
f-
friend.
is that?
A loon?
A what?
You're so scared.
What kind of a bird makes a noise like that?
A loon.
Wait till he hears a woodpecker.
Stupid Canadian wolf bird.
Pretty good.
Oh, so now you speak bird too.
Fluent.
I hate you.
Aww.
Have you talked to your brother lately? Mm-mm. Is that a good thing?
Probably cathartic.
Probably, I don't know.
I'm sorry about your family. Even if they suck, you must miss them.
Sure, he misses his niece, if anything.
My mother didn't suck. She was great.
How did she die?
By accident.
What kind of accident?
She accidentally swallowed the whole bottle of pills.
Oh,
Damn.
How old were you?
12. I found her.
Oh no.
I don't want you to think she was weak.
I don't.
Can't imagine what kind of pain she was in.
And my dad was so hard on her.
Yeah, your dad seemed like it.
Do you want to go inside?
No.
Sure, that fire is nice.
Oh, yeah. And with a lovely view.
Good morning.
Good morning. I like you.
Aw.
Oh.
You more than like him.
What a beautiful location.
The sun is glistening against the water.
Oh, are they playing
I always wondered what it would
Are
be
they
like
playing
to
a
be
hockey
Metro.
game?
You know, historically, they're the best team in sport.
Better than the
Oh, I know so.
I'm gonna fucking
It's
kill
so
you.
funny.
I am
They're
you.
playing as the other person's team.
I'm on the cover of the
I want to play that game now.
That's awesome. Could you imagine playing yourself in a video game?
Yeah, how's I know I'm so sorry, but how's Amber, right? How's she? Oh, good. And then Jackie's good too. Is it better than Yeah, no, I remember that. That was a tough time.
This is so real.
What are you doing?
I think you know.
Please stop.
I don't think it's what you want.
I can feel it's not what you want.
Okay, I make you a deal. I won't touch you, but if you get hard...
I won't get hard.
Okay, so no problem then.
Ilya.
Shane.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh, while he's on the phone? I catch my breath.
Sorry, man, I just have to run. Someone's at the door. All right, yes, love you, man, and give my best to Jackie and the kids. Why was that so hard?
Because you like to be bad.
Of course, why be good when you can be bad?
That's not what this is. You and me. Maybe it was at first, but not now and not for a long time.
So you love Hayden.
All right.
So I was thinking I'm free agent next season.
Or is he going to sign with Montreal?
You want to resign with Boston? Then where?
Montreal.
I don't know, I was thinking maybe Canadian team.
Ooh. He's going to sign with Montreal.
Not Montreal, huh?
Ah.
No, I mean, I know.
But I would love to not have a Russian passport.
I guess Toronto's the other, right? I mean, that would make them a lot closer.
I could marry Svetlana. She's American, would be easy citizenship. She would do it. Her father is goalie Sergei Vetrov.
Sergei.
She would help me.
Oh, to get a green card?
He's not happy with that, though.
Is she, I don't know, someone you want to marry?
We were friends, we would be fine. And it would be for the passport.
But you like women, right?
It's like, oh, so it's different.
You could find someone you'd want to marry for real and still get the passport.
Maybe, but I have this problem.
He's going to say he loves him. He wants him.
I like women, yes?
Yeah, I know.
And everywhere I go, I'm surrounded by beautiful women. And they love me.
Sounds rough.
But I am always thinking about this slow hockey player with beautiful freckles. And a weak backhand.
A weak backhand.
Yes, very weak. I am always wishing that these women were him. It's a terrible problem, huh?
Do you want that problem to go away?
I don't ever want that problem to ever go away.
Don't marry Svetlana. Just don't. I know it wouldn't be for love or whatever. Just don't.
Oh, I was going to cry.
Oh, their feet. It's
Yeah.
so adorable.
What's wrong? Why are you waking him up?
I have another idea.
What idea? What is happening?
What if you played in Ottawa?
Ottawa, okay.
First off, super close by. Second, Ottawa needs a star center, and they're nowhere near their cap, so they could definitely afford you. And maybe we could start to change the narrative a bit.
Okay, it's very late. So what are you getting at?
You played for Ottawa. I played for Montreal. We start a charity. And we come up with a story like I approached you.
Where I approached you.
Fine, sure. We tell the press and everyone that by working on this cause that we both love, that we developed a mutual respect for one another, and
And we like sucking each other's.
this is a good idea, Rosanov.
It's not bad. So we start the charity.
We can really start a charity, something cool that means a lot to both of us.
What would that be?
And then if people saw us out in public or whatever, it wouldn't be so crazy.
Right, because we're not rivalries anymore. We're part of the same charity.
Yes, charity beard.
Apply for like citizenship here in Canada, and maybe one day when we both retire, we could be together.
Fascinating.
You really think that far ahead, Hollander?
I do. About this.
And is that what you want? To be together?
So much.
Oh.
Is he crying? Oh.
I love you.
Oh, he said it. He said it.
Holy shit.
I mean,
I love you too.
Oh. Gorgeous shot.
Really feel how raw that was.
Yeah,
So
man.
beautiful. That's love.
This is so tender, so sweet.
Lots of
I'm
growth.
sorry for saying they were toxic. It's just people trying to figure out how to keep themselves safe and how to care for each other.
Please. What was your mother's name?
Irina.
That's a beautiful name.
I was thinking we could start a hockey school,
After his mother's
Charity,
name.
After the mom.
like a summer camp for kids, and give the money away to mental health organizations.
Oh, snap.
It was just an idea.
That's very sweet.
It's beautiful, yeah.
She would have loved you. Like I love you.
This is so sweet.
Is this where you do yoga or up there?
No, I do it inside. The producer wanted me. Wait, you saw that?
Yeah, it's very good. I needed help sleeping, so.
You're an asshole.
Do you want pasta from last night or hot dogs? Hot dogs. Okay, they're gonna have to defrost a bit.
I wonder if the parents know the location of this cottage.
Nothing that'll take too long.
Good question. Who the fuck is that?
The parents?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Do you want
Oh shit! God, this is a crazy way to find out. Oh no! What a reveal as well.
Fuck, this is a fucking nightmare.
There had to be conflict at some point coming to this episode.
Hey, they will talk to you.
Yeah, but I fucking lied to them for so many years. I fucking lied to them, and now my dad just walks in on me.
Well, look at the reactions. No wonder you had to lie to them.
Then maybe it's time to wake up, yes?
That was a bar.
Fuck, I'm scared.
Yes, it's scary. But you're brave.
Shut up.
No, you're brave.
I love when he's sweet and not sarcastic ass.
Yeah, because normally he's the stoic,
Sarcastic
tough
one.
ass one.
Maybe he didn't even know this.
Totally.
Maybe his car needed an oil job really bad and he had to rush out of there.
Do you want me to come with you?
Would you?
Of course.
Oh, what a supportive lover.
It's interesting that he's
Such a
being
supportive
this
partner.
supportive at this point because he's the one who feels like he has more to lose.
That is not going to help.
Oh, they don't know I play for Boston.
Well, they're diehard Montreal fans, right? I think that's the implication of what he's saying, right?
Maybe you should wait in the car. Fuck, never mind, sorry.
Oh, no, I
I
get.
drove all this way here. to
No,
the
I know,
car?
but it's understandable to be so conflicted. What do I do? What do I say?
I was terrified.
I left my charger at your place.
It's okay, Dad. I'm sorry, you shouldn't have found out that way.
Found out what, exactly?
I'm gay, which I was going to tell you soon. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. Yeah, and this is Ilya, but you already know that. He's visiting and we're,
Lovers.
no, Ilya, that's gross.
But you hate him.
No,
I love him.
I love him. But I don't want this to be how I told you. I'm sorry. Can we just sit down, please?
Okay. All right.
I think we thought maybe you were gay.
You did.
I think we thought it was certainly possible. What we did not suspect was that you were so friendly with Rosanov.
If you thought that, why'd you storm out of there the way you did?
Because they're having a private moment, maybe.
When did this happen?
It's been happening for years. That's
Wait.
probably the more scary
The
part.
All-Star game.
Was it 08, right, or 09 when they started?
No, it was before that.
Wow.
So when?
It was 08 or 09, right? Because the story started in 08.
Rookie season.
Since your rookie season.
No, it's not true. Since before that.
Not helpful.
Yeah.
So you've been in love since...
No,
Oh,
no.
That took some time, but we've been hooking up at least since then.
Just
Ilya.
Oh. Okay. Lovers.
Okay, no one is allowed to use that word again.
You never, I mean, you never let him win, did you, Shane?
Do you let Dad win at cards?
I'd rather die.
Same here.
So is your plan to just keep doing this in secret until you both retire, or?
We just can't come out and, like, announce it.
Like Hunter?
You have such a reputation as a ladies' man.
It's not untrue.
Ilya likes both.
It's true I've been with many women, but I have only been in love with one person.
Same here. Only one.
Oh, the feetsies.
Nothing's changed. He's still the same son. He's still the hockey star.
Yeah, everything else about him you know is true.
I need you to know that I did really try. I tried really hard, but I just can't help it.
Oh, buddy.
You don't have to justify yourself, man.
Oh, no, you have nothing. Nothing to apologize for. Look at me.
He feels like he let them down, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I made you feel like you couldn't tell me. Hey, I'm so proud of you.
I forgive you, Mom. I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
This is beautiful, man.
Okay. Enough. All right, what's the plan?
Starting a charity. Ilya's gonna join Ottawa.
We need a statement prepared in case anything leaks. Something classy and simple.
Mom.
And I'm gonna quietly reach out to the premium brands, or maybe just Reebok.
Why don't you let them handle it? They're adults.
Mom, can we just take 3 steps back, please? I'm not gonna come out or anything yet. We just want a future. I don't know.
Tell them about the charity, maybe.
You play in Ottawa?
Yes, we would be closer and with the charity.
And you have no loyalty to Boston.
Jesus, Mom.
What? They drafted him. You would leave Boston for Shane?
Yes.
Marry him, honey.
Have you talked to Scott Hunter?
No, I did.
Yes, please. You did?
Yeah, briefly.
And what did he say?
Well, I didn't tell him about Shane and me, but what he did, it was...
Yes, it was very brave.
Heroic, courageous.
Shane.
I'm okay, I'm just freaking out. I'll be okay in a second.
Hey, we're good here. Your family is here. Your boyfriend is here.
Oh, boyfriend.
My boyfriend?
Yeah.
I mean, yes. I think so, probably.
Oh,
I mean, you profess your love for each other. I would hope so. Oh, that's so sweet.
Since rookie season.
Summer before.
I'm so happy his parents are accepting.
Yeah. Well, that scene was so important. The one after.
Thank you for pasta.
Where
Thank you.
him and his mom embraced with each other.
You.
Yeah.
Might have been one of my favorite scenes in the entire show.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
That's it?
Oh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that I've been hearing rumblings that there could. I mean, I didn't know any spoilers, of course, but I've been hearing rumblings there could be a season 2, right?
I believe there's going to be a season 2. At least what I saw on IMDb.
Yeah, I really want to see season 2.
Yeah, where do they go?
My heart was racing this entire episode.
Yeah.
Because I was like worried about what was. We'll get into it when we.
I like how it's just the shot of them driving is the credits. That's so light.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Literally feels like us, the audience, is
with him in the backseat.
Yeah.
And he's comforting him, rubbing the back of his head.
And that's a love language.
Physical touch.
When you touch, yeah. Really love that they stayed on this shot for like a good minute or two throughout the entire credits. I gotta visit Canada one day. If not for me, for my dad.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Great.
All right, guys. Well, that was the finale for Season 1, Episode 6 of Heated Rivalry. If you are on YouTube, make sure you do all the YouTube stuff. Make sure you share the video, like, and most importantly,
ring that bell so you get notified when new videos are coming out.
Also, special thanks to fine folks over at Prepper for editing down these highlights. That way you're able to watch it here on YouTube. They do an incredibly tough job. That way you're able to watch it here, so we appreciate all their hard work. Thank you so much. We love you guys over at Prepper. And also, if you are listening on Apple or Spotify, please drop us a 5-star review. We would appreciate it. And also, we do full-length watch-alongs where you sync up with your own copy over on our Patreon page. Greg and John exclusively cover many other TV shows and highlights over there. And it's where you become a royal reject. Also, you can become a righteous reject. Teas like these, rejectnationshop.com. Aaron is always cooking up some fun stuff over there. So I get first look at that. That's what one of the perks of being a real roomie. So he's got incredible ideas. So always be on the lookout for that. You get 15% discounts over there. And also just, supporting us over there just really offsets a lot of the monetization issues that we run into on a day-to-day basis. So any support, again, we appreciate you so much. Keeps the lights on, keeps the host coming in on a day-to-day basis. Erushige, my real roomie.
Yes.
Wow. Just quick thoughts before we get into questions. What did you think of this episode? And then really quickly, just the season as a whole before we get into questions.
I thought this episode was great. I thought it was a really cathartic experience getting to finally see these guys embrace each other, spend time with each other. And usually my favorite types of stories, other than coming-of-age stories, are sort of bottle episodes or the experience of two characters experiencing and getting to know each other and getting deeper and closer and more intimate over the course of a single location or just following these two in an adventure. So us finally getting that in a prolonged form was very cathartic to see. And seeing them fall in love further, they've never spent the night together in an extended capacity for 2 weeks at least. And the fact that there weren't any hitches or exasperated drama coming up within their relationship, there wasn't any pushing and pulling. It was just all support and love and discovery. And we saw, the heated moments, and we saw the more lax moments, the fun moments. And I really like that we got a glimpse into what a relationship between the two of them would look like. And also the stuff with the coming out was very beautiful, and I feel like it's something that a lot of people who have to live in secret wish that they could experience with their family. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to be able to have that embrace from their family or their parents or their siblings or what have you. So the fact that we were able to get an example of how this can be, what this can look like, the fact that your kids are still your kids, your brothers, your siblings, your sisters are still who they are, and this is just an aspect of them. And I feel like you still can love them fully because you can't imagine how hard it is for them to carry so much and fear of how it'll be perceived. So I think the scenes with the dad and the mom were really heartwarming, really lovely. I think this season as a whole has been really great because we got to see the development, the highs, the lows, the woes of these two guys kind of navigating their feelings and relationship with one another. It started off as this physical thing, and over the course of their own lives, were trying to navigate the drama around them, and some of that stuff affected their relationship internally. And listen, I may have not miscalculated, but No, I do, but humans are complicated, and especially adults have these autonomous experiences, and though somebody may not have the courage to express their feelings, doesn't mean that the experience of how it's being portrayed is one-sided, because essentially these are two guys who are forming a relationship in a hyper-masculine world where feelings are not exactly valued as something that should take precedent within their lives. So for them to navigate the softer sides of the relationship while also dealing with the traditional, harder and more masculine sides of their public relationship is a tricky balancing act to have over the course of multiple years, no less. But yeah, the way that the other story with Kip and Hunter was interwoven into this was also very lovely and very well told and very well done. And I hope they can all be friends. I would really like to see them interact next season, those two couples together. And the way that they were able to integrate the stuff about Ilya's past and his mom, and the fact that she had her own mental health struggles. I thought all of it was lovely, really great. I'm so happy that they signed us to watch this show. There's no one else I'd really rather be watching this show with,
buddy.
Andrew. And
Ditto.
I'm grateful for having experienced. I feel like this is something more people should be able to experience, and if they're not exposed to more queer media, I feel like it should be something that is normalized to destigmatize, the stereotypes and what it is for somebody to be gay in pop culture. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. What about you, man?
No, very, very well said. I agree with everything you said, and it was a great season. I'm so glad we got to experience it together and got to share it with greatest fans in the world, Reject Nation. And this episode, I love the way the first moments, I think, with Hunter really set the tone and the foundation for the episode as a whole of just, the brave act, and also just why what a courageous thing that he did at the bookend of the last episode, episode 5, of coming out so publicly, and just the experience that he talked about, like when he was talking about, in the locker room where, being thrown around, and why he's so afraid to come out. And it was like, that really hit me hard. And I've heard locker room talk like that, so I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah,
but where
that was a great scene in the beginning.
Yeah, no, it was, and I really like. Besides the fact that we've talked about this at length, where many times where we're like, we get like from a professional athlete why he's afraid to come out, like what the consequences and ramifications can be.
Yeah.
But then also too, when he went in depth in that monologue about why also, like when it comes to like how that masculine energy can like how they talk about gay people in the locker room, like, yeah, I can understand why you would be afraid to do that. And then also too, when you saw the initial reaction, at least from Shane's father, it seemed like rejection just when he stormed out of there. It could have been a possibility of like, hey, he didn't tell me, he was lying to me, that type of reaction at first. But either way, you can understand like why you're afraid to tell people these types of things. So I think that monologue was so beautifully done. I'm so sorry I don't know that actor's name, but he just delivered it in such an incredible and emotional and visceral way. I also love how deliberately slowly paced this episode was, so we could really feel all the intimate moments in this episode too. It wasn't frenetically paced, and I'm glad, because the episode really got to breathe. We got to feel everything with these characters, with Shane and with Ilya, when we were in the cottage with them. And I mentioned while the credits were rolling that my heart was racing, and the reason being is because I'm so emotionally invested in these characters and in this relationship. I was afraid that because they have only, they were friends with benefits up till this point, even though there was that love and that camaraderie throughout the 10 or 12, however long they've been hooking up, they've never spent a considerable amount of time together like this. So when you up the ante in a relationship, there's a possibility, you might find some negative tendencies with each other and something might go awry. So that's why my heart was racing. I just didn't want something like that to happen, where something bad happens in the relationship to where they break it off. So that's why my heart was personally racing throughout the entire episode. But that's good writing, that's good drama, and also it's good characters, because I'm so heavily invested in the characters. And then the part that broke me a little bit was when the father stormed and raced off. But then we got the vindication and the resolve is when they went over to the parents' house, had an understanding of that. Hey, it's the same. Shane's the same person. He's still the superstar. He's still nothing has changed, And I think one of my favorite scenes, as I mentioned earlier, was the one with his mom, where I love that Shane was being so vulnerable with his mother and was just telling her, like, I really tried. And it was not only that he was saying that, but like he tried to have a relationship with Rose. He just didn't feel like it didn't feel what he feels with Ilya. He did not like he really does love Rose, but as a friend, he didn't love her as a partner, as a lover in that way. And I appreciated that he was being vulnerable and truthful with his mom, and his mom saw that, and that his mom also had the accountability to say, I'm so sorry that I ever made you feel that way. Because I can't even possibly imagine in the past how many people who have been afraid to, have been afraid to come out because of family members who have, acted in a way like this, or have been afraid to been judged like this in that way. So it's a scary thing. But I love that the mom at least had accountability and was afraid to say, I'm so sorry. And that was just such a beautiful moment. So great episode, great season. I can't wait to see more. And I love those two so much when it comes to Shane and Ilya and just the entire show. Rose and Ilya's friend and Kip and Hunter, just incredibly well casted. Music was so good. Cinematography, fantastic. The framing, just so many different things I could praise about this show, but I'm kind of glad. I'm grateful and glad we got to react to it, but I'm also bittersweet and sad now that season 1's over. And I just want season 2 now. Is what I'm trying to say. But we have questions as we always do here. So if you want to ask questions, make sure you join us over on our Patreon, and you can ask questions where we will shout you out individually. So we are going to start here with Lucelita, and apologies if we mispronounce anyone's names. Thank you so much for being a Royal Reject and for asking a question. We appreciate you so much. The popularity of this show signals that audiences are tired of romances that treats harm as intensity and control as chemistry love. Do you think this show could culturally impact the way audiences renegotiate what healthy masculinity looks like on screen in real life? Sorry for my broken English, and thanks for reacting to the show. I thought your English was fine there.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, I think that it was definitely something that changes the way we can perceive traditional or conventional masculine love within pop culture and mainstream media. I think it does a great job of showcasing that just because somebody does something that is more masculine doesn't mean that they can't also show a softer side of themselves. I feel like both men and women have both masculine and feminine traits within them, and really it's about what qualities are nurtured and the integration of both sides of the self. I feel like this show did a great job of showcasing that, and showcasing that it's okay to embrace both those things in a way where they don't have to be contradictory or in competition with one another, but integrated within the single self or with one another. It ebbs and flows, and that could be within a queer relationship or a heterosexual relationship, and even within your friendships. Like, we should be able to tell our guy friends that you're like, yo, your fit looks fire today, or like, yo, you did a good job today, or compliment each other. I feel like we don't give each other our flowers or showcase that love that maybe some women do, or even people who are queer do. And I think that this show can give people the courage and encouragement to be able to express themselves in a way that does showcase masculinity in a more prominent, fluid kind of way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, one of my favorite arcs in this show was Ilya, and to see again how stoic he was throughout the entire show, how hardened he was, and understand from the culture he comes from in Russia and the way his brother treats him and the way his father raised him, and then to see like blossoming throughout the relationship, and to see how he was being so soft-hearted and so sweet towards Shane. And like, it really, like, I was just so like wholesome to see him like being so soft-hearted in that way. I was like, oh my God, Ilya has changed, but Shane has brought that out in him. And I appreciated seeing that, and like, he can still be masculine at times, but also like be in a just more just in a more sweet way as well. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't be masculine and sweet at the same time, but I just thought it was I just like how the relationship developed, and he just emotionally matured a lot more as well. And I just appreciated so much how much that Ilya had grown throughout, and I think it was so beautiful to watch. Like to see him comforting Shane when Shane was really struggling there at the end, like about his parents finding out and saying like he's here for him and all that. Like it was just really touching to watch. Like that was probably my favorite arc to watch was Ilya growing. And I understand why he was so afraid to be vulnerable, especially with where he comes from and how his dad was so hard on him, and his brother literally treated him like a piggy bank. So yeah, but I'm with you though. I think audiences are tired of that, and I'm hoping this show is a change for the better. So we shall see. Thank you for the question. We appreciate you so much.
All right, Tracy Lowe. At least I think that's how I say your name. If it's not, I'm sorry. This show had a tiny budget and used a lot of tricks to get around that. All the award ceremonies and the press briefings were in an empty auditorium. The same hockey rink was used for all the games in the Olympic scenes, and sometimes you can see the empty seats in the audience.
I didn't know.
The same park was used for both Canada and Russia outdoor scenes. Looking back, were there moments in the series where you thought you could tell there were budget constraints? Do you expect a bigger budget for season 2 to improve the show, or is it not necessary?
If you had not written that, I wouldn't even have known about empty seats or any of that. It always felt like the crowd was lively and full of people.
Yeah.
So I never felt budget constraints. I always go back to, I know I always use examples of other films when I say, like, use this as a staple, but like the Terminator 1, for instance, that's a $7 million budget, but that feels like a $50 million film, right? I like when I read stuff like this and you hear that they didn't have much of a budget, but it feels, granted, there's not like a bunch of visual effects or anything, but the choreography of the hockey is fantastic, and you always feel the energy of the crowd and that it's full at times. So for them to be able to do that and pull it off without me second guessing anything, I think is a testament to not only the hockey choreographer, but also the visual effects team, whoever worked on that, and also just all the people that came together to make this feel as real and authentic as possible. So that's impressive. Do they need to go bigger? Do you expect a bigger budget? I mean, the show is one of the most popular shows now of the end of this end of 2025, beginning of 2026. So I'm sure that they probably gonna get a bigger budget. But I would only use it for like just to get the right actors. I mean, I don't know if you're able to still pull off scenes like this where you're able to convince Aaron and myself and others that the crowds are full and you don't need to waste money in areas like that. I would say just focus on continuing to get the best actors that you got like you did in season 1, because I thought the casting in season 1 was A+.
Yeah.
So I would continue to focus on areas like that and not, we got to, waste it in other areas for like crowds and stuff like that. But what about you?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I was none the wiser to there being any sort of budget constraints until you enlightened us. So thank you, Tracy. Yeah, I think that they'll probably get a bigger budget in season 2. I think that's safe to say. And if it were to be used somewhere, at least in the visual side of things, I imagine maybe longer scenes for hockey games, even though the show's not really about hockey. But I feel like maybe like cooler ways of shooting that or filling your audiences up. I can't imagine you have any shortage of getting extras. Or, with how popular it is, how much money I'm sure this show has brought the studio and both Crave and HBO Max, that they're going to get a big boost. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's really about these characters and the character drama. And I don't really think you need to throw a ton of money at a show if it's really about the heart and the relationships of these characters. I think you can have it in an isolated space like this last episode was, and it would still be just as great. It's about the connection.
I was gonna say that's a great point. Like 90% of this episode's in one location, and like I was just so invested and locked in. So I love movies or TV shows when you can stay locked in at one location. It feels so much more intimate like that.
Yeah, like bottle episodes.
Yeah, totally. So thank you so much, Tracy, for the question. We appreciate you. All right, last question here. Bree Garcia, thank you so much for being a Royal Reject and for asking a question. We appreciate you. Rachel Reid, the author, has come out and said that Shane is canonically autistic. Does that change y'all's opinion or expand anything that you've seen of Shane throughout the season? Hudson Williams has said that he used his father's autistic traits in his portrayal of Shane. I think it really came out during this episode and last one in the hospital when he's just internally dying at the kitchen table while everyone is eating. Although the folding of clothes before banging every time is also a subtle hint as well. Oh, why did I not notice the folding of clothes?
Yeah, I didn't notice
I'm gonna next time I watch it, I'm gonna now that it's subconsciously put in my head, I will definitely notice that. And also now I've noticed more the ginger ale stuff. What do you think? First of all, does that change or expand anything with Shane now that you know he's autistic?
No, to be honest, it wasn't until the audience kind of pointed it out that I didn't even realize he was autistic. But then after I was enlightened to that fact, I did sort of see some traits here and there. But it's not anything that changes your view of the show because one is it's awesome to have more autistic representation, especially it being part of the character, but in a open kind of way. But I also think that it doesn't change the heart of who this character is. I think that the fact that it's about these two guys living in secret and then developing this relationship, I don't think that has a narrative impact on who the character is. And I think that it's awesome that we are getting a show that can normalize autistic characters as not obviously we've seen movies with autistic characters before, but autism is a spectrum, and we've seen people on like the farther end of the spectrum, and that becomes their character. But I feel like this does a great job of showcasing that it is a spectrum and normalizing people who do have it, and it not being necessarily about that or not about them overcoming some struggle with their autism, but just it being who they are. And I feel like the fact that it's not overstated in a way where it's makes it about that just goes to show the quality of the show of it just being about people learning how to navigate love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and when it was pointed out, I think a couple episodes, I could definitely see a couple tendencies like missing social cues or some emotional beats when women or even Ilya were giving him some subtext lines in romance, and he wasn't understanding that or locking into what they were saying. So I was like, yeah, I could tell a little bit, but it doesn't change anything. He's still a heartfelt, compassionate, very giving and sensitive human being, and that's why I love him and I resonate with him so much. He's just such a wonderful character. So it in no way, shape, or form him having some type of autism change in any way how I feel about him. I love Shane. He's such a great character, and he's such a resilient person as well. And I love also, too, that Hudson Williams, it seems like, as you pointed out, that the portrayal of Shane, he used some of his father's autistic traits. I think that brings a lot of authenticity to the role. Yeah, it's honoring his father as well, So I think that's wonderful, and I think that's beautiful. So great performance. And I think Aaron said it best. It's like, this isn't enlightening. This isn't like drawing a light on. This is in terms of being autistic. It's not. We're not forcing to shed a light on. This is exactly who the character is, but it's a part of the character, and I appreciated that. So yeah, great season. Any final thoughts that you want to mention before we wrap up here?
I really loved the show. A show that I was not expecting to cover, but I'm glad that we did. And I hope we see them further their relationship. I hope we see them come out in public, and I hope we see them talk to Scott and Kip and see how their relationships are similar and different, like if they can form a friendship between the four of them.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I would love, and wholesome. I would love to see that as well. I also did like to, once the mom had fully grasped the situation and again taken accountability of just like her own faults in when it came to her son being gay. I love that she was like back into PR mode of like, hey, we got to get on top of this. We got to do this and that, and like in a positive spin, of course.
Yeah.
I thought that was sweet and adorable. But I am curious, like as we get into season 2 as well, like just where Shane and Ilya, where their head's gonna be at, like when they're gonna be ready to. And like you, I'm curious, like if they're gonna talk to Hunter about that, because I got to imagine that they're gonna be cool with letting him in on the fact that they are dating. So especially now that he's come out publicly himself. So yeah, really looking forward to season 2. Season 1 was incredible, such a beautiful show, and yeah. Thank you so much for joining us for season 1. We love you guys so much. If you stuck with us this far, we appreciate you so much. Let us know in the comments. Did you have a particularly favorite episode, favorite character, favorite moment in the show? Let us know. We'd love to hear all your thoughts down below. Take care. Be safe. See you next time.
Deuces.